Sami Zayn is one of the favourites to win the Royal Rumble match tonight, but could WWE's relationship with Saudi Arabia be a potential problem for future storyline plans involving Sami Zayn? We've got details on that. Plus, who could be the number one entrant in tonight's Royal Rumble match on the women's side of things? We've got details on that. Roman Reigns appears on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon last night and has spoken about the possibility of him facing The Rock at WrestleMania for the Undisputed Universal Championship. Triple H provides an update on NXT Europe ahead of the launch later on this year. Plus, several NXT stars have been brought in for tonight's Royal Rumble event. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of World Wrestling Entertainment, especially on today being the Royal Rumble event in San Antonio, Texas, inside the Alamo Dome. And one person who's certainly the favorite to win the men's Royal Rumble match, one of them, maybe not the exact favorite, I think that's Cody Rhodes, but certainly one person that has been speculated could win the Rumble is none other than Sami Zayn. But could possible relationships that WWE have with maybe their future owners, that being Saudi Arabia, hamper any future storyline plans for Sami Zayn? Well, an update has emerged on how WWE's relationship with Saudi Arabia could affect plans for Sami Zayn in the future. Zayn notably hasn't competed on any WWE Saudi Arabia events since the partnership began all the way back in 2018 due to his Syrian descent, when apparently false rumours that WWE had been sold to the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund previously emerged. Many fans expressed concern for Zayn's future with the company. Zayn is one of WWE's top superstars right now, and many are calling for him to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39 for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer indicated that Saudi Arabia could influence a decision surrounding a potential Sami Zayn world title program, as they typically want WWE's top champion on their shows. Discussing the situation, Meltzer said, quote, "Yes, because Saudi Arabia would want the top guy and the champion. But John Cena hasn't gone to Saudi Arabia lately since 2018's Greatest Royal Rumble show, and he's not much bigger, and he's much bigger star than Sami. It's something, but it's not a death knell to him. They're not going to not make him the top guy. They can still make him the champion. Does Saudi Arabia play a part in the sense that they don't want him in Saudi Arabia and he doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia anyway? And if he's the champion and they have a show coming up, yes, that's absolutely a factor. And it's a really good point." Now, of course, WWE last visited Saudi Arabia in November 2022 for the Crown Jewel Premium Live event. In the main event of that show, Roman Reigns defeated Logan Paul to retain his undisputed WWE Universal Championship. I think when it comes to this, and obviously people have expressed their concern about this, particularly, again, if the Saudi Public Investment Fund did purchase WWE, what would that mean for Sami Zayn? Look, chances are, let's be realistic here, if the Saudi Public Investment Fund did purchase WWE, there's a big chance Sami Zayn wouldn't be with the company anymore. Not necessarily because Saudi Arabia wouldn't want to have him. I think whilst they're operating in the US, they wouldn't care particularly too much. It would be more, I think, on Sami Zayn's side of things. He wouldn't want to be involved in that. Now, obviously, he wouldn't go over to any of the Saudi shows anyway. He hasn't since the beginning. Does that mean he won't be world champion? Probably. I don't think so. I don't think that's, I don't think, as of right now, it's not totally important. If they were to own the company, maybe it's a different conversation. But if that's what is dictating WWE policy, then that's a real issue going forward. Again, it's difficult to speculate on because the Saudi Public Investment Fund doesn't own WWE as of today. Now, if WWE are thinking we can't put Sami Zayn in the main event of this year's WrestleMania, or we can't have him challenge and defeat Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship this year at WrestleMania because we might be owned by the Saudis in a few months' time, then that's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. But I don't think that's their thought process right now. Again, Triple H, he's in charge of creative. He's not in charge of WWE strategic alternatives process. And to be honest, if Sami Zayn drifts away from the main event scene, then we know where the noises are coming from. And it might be an indicator as to where WWE's future does lie for a potential owner in the future. But as of right now, we really don't know that, but it's certainly interesting that it could play a part in the future. Now, spoilers ahead, because this isn't confirmed. This is something that a star has been pitching. One star has pitched herself to be the number one entrant in the Royal Rumble. If you don't want it to be spoiled, I'll give you a few seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That person is none other than Liv Morgan. Yes, Liv Morgan has pitched to be the number one entrant into this year's Women's Royal Rumble match. Speaking with Denise Salcedo, Liv Morgan revealed that she has been pitching to enter the match first. Explaining why she wants the number 1 spot, the former SmackDown Women's Champion said, quote, "I am hoping and I have been pitching myself to come out first. I want to come out first and make a statement to not only endure all the pain and physicality that it will take to get me to be the last woman standing, but just to leave a message that, bring all 29 women. At the end of the day, I'm still going to be the last one standing in the ring, and who knows what title I'd want to wrestle for." Now, as of right now, at the time of recording, over half the competitors set to compete in the Women's Rumble haven't been announced, so plenty of surprises in store. We've also got a bit of an update on some possible NXT names that could be in the Women's Rumble. Stay tuned for that. That's going to come later on in the show. As far as Liv Morgan entering number 1, she can pitch it, I suppose, but whether that's the plan or not, we'll have to wait and see. Liv Morgan, given her character of being this person who likes to endure a lot of physical pain, put herself through tables ever since that Ronda Rousey feud, I guess that would make sense in terms of her character. But Liv Morgan, I would be very surprised if she won the Women's Royal Rumble this year. Roman Reigns, of course, wasn't on SmackDown last night. That's because he was in New York rather than being in Texas. He was on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Roman Reigns has discussed potentially facing The Rock and names 2 other possible contenders he could face at WrestleMania this year. Reigns was already one of WWE's top stars when he won the Universal Championship back at Payback in 2020, but throughout the subsequent 2+ years, Reigns has cemented his status as a genuine bona fide superstar. He has reigned supreme over WWE, and his performances often draw plenty of praise, both in the ring and in non-wrestling segments. Reigns defeated Brock Lesnar to unify WWE's world titles at WrestleMania 38 last year, and fans have increasingly speculated about a potential match between Reigns and The Rock ever since, especially with the bloodline, the tribal chief. It just makes so much sense. The clash between the 2 stars has been buzzed about for years, but a report from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter suggested The Rock indicated he wouldn't be able to get in shape in time for WrestleMania 39. During an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Reigns was directly asked about potentially facing The Rock. He seemingly brought up said reports, and when Fallon visibly looked confused that The Rock could doubt his fitness, Reigns described how getting ready for a match requires more than simple weight training, saying, quote, "That's been the rumours, and there has been huge buzz on that for a long time. I mean years now, but it's really picked up in the past couple of years. I believe he just came out with a statement saying he's not going to be ready in time," which, that's the face everyone's making. Hold on, he trains every day. He's huge. But to his defense, it's one thing to train with weights and the bodybuilding to look the part, but to be able to get in the ring and do a main event match, a championship match, an undisputed WWE championship match, it takes a lot of conditioning. It beats up your body, so there's more that goes into it than just training in the weight room. It's a professional athlete type of situation where you have to condition. He does 2 out of the 3 things perfectly. His nutrition and his weight training's on point, but you have to condition yourself. You have to be ready to fall down. You never get away from that, Reigns said. Now, Fallon chimed in and noted that people have been ready to fall down when they face Reigns, and he responded by saying, "That's number 1, Dwayne. When you're going up against Roman Reigns, you better get ready to fall down." Reigns was asked to discuss who else could be in the mix for the title picture. He noted that WWE has a lot of stuff going on and pointed to his Bloodline stablemate Sami Zayn. Reigns stated that the Bloodline has been doing some beautiful TV in recent months. He then brought up Cody Rhodes and praised his unforgettable performance at Hell in a Cell, where he competed with a torn pectoral muscle, saying, quote, "That's the beauty of it now. We've got so much stuff going on. Right now we hit Sami Zayn that's in the mix. That's within my Bloodline. We've been doing some beautiful TV over the past 6 months. We have another guy by the name of Cody Rhodes is coming back from injury. He was super white hot. If you go back to, I believe it was a Hell in a Cell match he had with Seth Rollins, his pectoral muscle was completely torn in half. If you go back and look, it's completely black, a giant bruise covering this guy. A fourth of his body is completely broken. He goes out there and he puts on a 40-minute performance and just completely wins over our entire fan base. So a lot of guts, a lot of courage out of him. He's going to be coming back soon too." On Saturday, Reigns, of course, will defend his titles against Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble, not in a Royal Rumble match, at the Royal Rumble. When asked about his strategy for the match, he stated he doesn't plan to change anything, as he already defeated Owens a number of times. He gave Owens credit for his toughness, but he emphasized that he's going to repeat history by beating the challenger yet again, saying, quote, "Don't change anything. I've been beating up Kevin Owens for years now. Let me give this guy his due. This is a tough, sturdy guy. He's a little crazy. He's willing to do anything out there, but I faced him a few times and I've been pretty successful. So for me, I just feel like if I don't change anything, if it's not broke, don't break it. Just stay in the same system. Go out there and do what I do. Pretty much, I feel like I'm genetically coded to beat Kevin Owens every time. It's like the small print in my DNA. Beat Kevin Owens, check." Now, The Rock, as I mentioned previously, said there's no truth to rumors about a WrestleMania match between him and Reigns. We'll have to wait and see. There still have been rumors and speculation about The Rock coming back this evening or being in town. He did post an Instagram post saying he was filming his movie, but that's what anyone would say that was trying to throw people off the scent. Whether or not The Rock will show up tonight, we're just going to have to wait until the Royal Rumble and see if the Great One does indeed show up. NXT Europe. What's going on with NXT Europe? Well, Triple H has provided an update on the plans for the launch of the NXT Europe brand following the end of NXT UK. In August of last year, WWE announced that NXT UK would be going on a hiatus, revealing that a new NXT Europe brand would be launched in 2023. In an interview with Variety, Triple H noted that there have been a lot of progress on plans for the brand. Discussing his hopes for the roster, Triple H said, quote, "There's been a lot of progress on it. We are very excited about the prospect of taking NXT in a larger global direction. I would like to be able to find the best athletes and the largest personalities and the most entertaining people from every place in the world and bring them into what we do. Because when you begin to create those characters and those stars from every region, those regions become more engaged in what we do. If you can begin to go to all of these places and begin to find athletes there that can resonate on a global stage, some will make it big, some will make it small, some won't make it at all. But that Indian talent, let's say, that you have, that main event's WrestleMania, and that's a native of that country, that wholesale changes how that country views the product. NXT UK was based mostly on independent wrestling workers, guys that worked their way up and found their way to us. We're starting the process there, doing the same thing that we're doing here. There isn't an NCAA collegiate level of athletics in Europe, but there's a lot of athletes that are training in a lot of places like Loughborough or whatever, shout out to Loughborough, for specific sports. We're beginning to engage with them now and finding the same interest level that we're finding in NCAA athletes here. Now, as far as when we can expect NXT Europe, he still didn't really say. It's just 2023. TBC. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Finally, some NXT names have been rumoured, or I guess confirmed, to be in town for the Royal Rumble this evening, leading to some speculation that they could be actually appearing in the respective Royal Rumble matches for the men and women. Per PW Insider, one name is Ivy Nile, who has been brought in for the Royal Rumble event. It had previously been reported that Zoe Stark, Indy Hartwell, and NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez are also in San Antonio ahead of the show. While NXT stars have featured in Royal Rumble bouts in the past, no NXT names wrestled in 2022's Women's Royal Rumble match. This year's event has been booked under a different regime, of course, with Triple H overseeing creative as WWE's chief content officer. Now, again, whether or not they're actually going to be in the Rumble, whether they're just in town because WWE's in town, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But chances are, considering there are still about 15, 16 names that haven't been revealed for the Women's Rumble match, chances are we're going to see some NXT names in there, particularly the NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez. We've already seen her on the main roster, so I wouldn't be shocked if we see her there. But there you go, guys. That's the latest WWE news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, we will be doing news videos this evening, breaking down the breaking news stories coming out of the Royal Rumble, whether that's the winners of the men's and women's Rumble matches, the winners of the title matches, the pitch black match between Bray Wyatt and LA Knight as well. So a huge night, a huge evening of pro wrestling. So be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, smash a like on the like button, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.